This is a video on the 112 written assignment for U.S. history. If you go into Doc Sharing and click on the Unit 1 Documents folder and scroll down, you're going to see the 112 Colonial Brochure assignment sheet here. The Colonial Brochure assignment sheet, after you save it to your computer, will then look like this. And when I'm done with this recording, there'll be a recording right at the top for you to view to learn how to do the assignment. What it's going to ask you to do is to create a brochure that compares and contrasts. So it talks about the similarities and the differences between New England, the Middle Colonies, and the Southern Colonies. For information to include in your brochure, please review the instructions from below from Lesson 112 on page 2 or slide 2 that has the Colonial Brochure link. Okay, so this Colonial Brochure assignment is based off of an activity that's found in Lesson 112 in your course. And the slide on number 2, okay, the instructions on slide 2 of Lesson 112 will state this part right here for you. It says the inside of your brochure will be divided into 3 sections, one for each region of the American colonies. For each region, select the name of the region and then select an appropriate image to represent the region. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like in the course, because that will make the most sense to you. So if you look in the course, click on Looking on the Colonies, and you advance through the slides, you're going to see on slide 3 here, I'm sorry, it's not slide 2, it's slide 3. If you click on Colonial Brochure, and I will fix that in the assignment. If you click on Colonial Brochure, this screen will pop up. Okay, so I'm going to do an example of this for you and walk you through. So it says historians have divided colonial America in 3 regions based on geography: New England, the Middle Colonies, and the Southern Colonies. Within each region, colonists shared similar ways of life, including politics, economics, and religion. Use what you have learned to create a brochure that compares and contrasts these regions. Now, most of the information that you're going to use to complete this brochure, we learned about in lessons 110 and 111. Okay, so step 1 says select an image for the cover of your brochure. Click Next to continue. So for example, if I wanted the cover of my brochure to be this image right here, I would choose that and then click Next. Okay, or if I wanted to do this not in the format of the online activity, because this will allow you to print this afterwards and scan it to submit. If I wanted to do this in a PowerPoint or in some kind of a Word document, if you have Open Office and you have Open Office Draw, or you have the Open Office version of Word, you could screen capture these images or do a Google search for images that would relate to each region of the colonies and create a PowerPoint brochure or a Word document brochure and submit that as well. Okay, so right here, this is going to be similar to what you're going to do. You're going to enter a title for your brochure. So we're going to put here Mrs. T's Colonial Brochure. And then down here, I'm going to put my name. Okay, so you'll put your full name. Then I'm going to click Next. In this area, this is where it tells you what you're going to do in each portion. It says your brochure will be divided into 3 sections, one for each region of the American colonies. For each region, select the name of the region and then select an appropriate image to represent that region. Write a short caption for the image, and then finally write a short paragraph that describes the region in terms of its people, religion, politics, and economics. Now, I'm not going to expect the paragraph to be a certain length, but it will need to talk about each of those areas: religion, politics, economics, and its people. You are limited to about 90 words in the online activity. So if you're doing this using the online activity and then printing your work and then scanning it to submit to me in the Dropbox, you're going to be limited to about 90 words. So if you're doing a PowerPoint or a Word document type of presentation, you could use the 90 words as your length if you so wish to do so. You may mention some aspects of culture for one region and not for another. It depends on the region and what you have learned about each one. So don't think that you're going to have to go through and list all 5 things in each region. You should probably be giving me at least a description of 3 of these areas for each region. For example, for New England, if you talked about the economy, politics, and the people who live there, okay, the first primary settlers, that would be pretty good. If you didn't know as much about the politics of the middle colonies, but you included economy, the first settlers, and something about the climate, that would be sufficient for the middle colonies. Okay, so you at least need 3 of these in each region. So once you go through in the online version of the activity, you're going to click New England to start, and you're going to choose an image that might work for New England. So here I'm going to choose this particular image because it's an image of people praying. New England was settled by religious pilgrims. Okay, they were Puritans and pilgrims settling largely in Massachusetts to start. So if I wanted to type my description of the region below, I would say the New England colonies were settled mostly by religious pilgrims looking for a new land in which to practice their religion freely. They included the Puritans and the Pilgrims as the first settlers. Okay, and I might want to go on to discuss, how they made their money in New England, maybe a little bit about their politics, or about the climate there, because climate and geography greatly affected how they made their money, which we talked about last week in class. Okay, so you're going to type your caption below. So here you can describe what's going on in the picture and say new, or say something like pilgrims praying upon arrival in the New World, in New England, to be more specific if you wish. Okay, so remember it's only going to be so long, so that one won't let me type the whole thing, but you're going to type something that will fit here to describe it. So I'll put pilgrims praying in New England. Okay, and when you hit next, it will bring you to the next region. You do the same thing again, pick an image, hit next, give your description. Of course, I'm not doing it in detail here because I'm just doing this as an example. Then you're going to do it again for the southern colonies and pick an image that would fit there. Okay, and then I would type my description here, make sure I have my caption, and then click next. When I'm done, this is kind of what your project is going to look like. Right? It's going to have your title, who it's by, in each region. So if you wish, you can print your final copy of this. There's a print button here. You can even make edits at the end if you want to go back and change anything. Okay, if you wanted to do a screenshot, most computers have the snipping tool option. Most of your school computers have that. If you go to programs and look up the snipping tool and search for that program, you should be able to find it and do a screenshot of your work on your computer screen. Save that and send that to me. So you can print it, you can do a screenshot, you can recreate something just like this by either screenshotting the images and writing it in a Word document. You can do it in a draw program from OpenOffice or PowerPoint, whatever programming you may have. So there are a variety of ways that you can submit this as long as you have an image, a description that fulfills the requirements of the assignment. We're going to go over this more in a live session, but if you watch this recording, hopefully this has helped you understand several of the options available to you. Now, as a the school has provided you each with a printer that has a scanner with it. So if you're able to print this, you should be able to scan it and attach it to the Dropbox as well. Okay, good luck on your Colonial Brochure for assignment 112. I'm going to be putting this recording into the assignment sheet for you and posting it to Doc Sharing. Good luck.